What's up guys, it's Cal, and I'm here to talk to you about patch 7.1 that's coming October 25th and all of the changes that are coming with it. Now the patch is of course going to have a bunch of tweaks with every spec due to the feedback that they've got, so I'm not going to talk about all of those because this video would be way too long, but if you want to see what's changing with the class and spec you play, I'll leave a link in the description to the full patch notes. So let's get started. Something that is changing about classes, however, are the abilities while you level up with them. Some abilities will just require a new level to get said ability, like for example Cloak of Shadows for rogues to be gotten at level 80 instead of level 58. But more interestingly, abilities that have different perks to them will be gathered at different level requirements. Like for example, Fire Blast with mages will have 3 ranks. At level 16, it will have its critical strike perk, and at level 48, it will gain its second charge. There will be 2 new raids and a dungeon in the patch. One of the new raids is called Trial of Valor, but it will not be released until 2 weeks after the patch hits. The other is the Nighthold, which has Gul'dan as the last boss and Tincandrius right before him. Now the dungeon is a new revamped version of Karazhan. It's going to be a mythic only dungeon that requires a quest attunement to get into, and it will also have 8 bosses. Now with a high number of bosses, when Blizzard first announced this dungeon, they said that it's supposed to be exceptionally long, to the point where it might make sense to do some of it one day and the rest of it another day during that week's lockout. Since it is a mythic dungeon, it's on a weekly lockout, although with mythic plus dungeons, that will probably not be the case. They haven't said the time limit that this place will have in mythic plus yet though. Now some of the bosses that are in the raids are making a reappearance in the dungeon, such as Maiden of Virtue, Moros, the Curator, and Autumn and the Huntsman, which by the way has a chance to drop a new mount called Midnight's Eternal Reigns, sort of a different version of Fiery Warhorse. And then there are new-ish faces, like the Shade of Medivh, Mana Devourer, and Vizadum the Watcher. Also the Opera event is going to be back, but with all new set of bosses. Or plays, I guess is what they are. The 3 plays are Wicket, Westfall Story, and Beautiful Beast. Karazhan will drop 855 and up gear with the possibility of Warforged or Titanforge pieces. There will also be a new raiding with Leash's achievement that will send you back to bosses in Wrath of the Lich King. This includes the Lich King himself, who drops 2 pets. There will also be an event for Diablo's 20th anniversary, although not much is known about this or what will happen. I'd assume it happened around December since that's when Diablo 1 came out. Also, as I mentioned in another video, that there will be a Blood of Sargeras vendor, so make sure you keep your Blood of Sargeras whatever. Now with PvP, the Nagrand Arena has a pretty significant visual update. There's a picture on the screen now of what it will look like. It's quite nice, with more greenery and visual changes to the walls. Also, something I've mentioned in another video is that when you prestige your honor rank, you will not lose any of the abilities, meaning that it would make no sense at all to not prestige now because of all the extra gold and artifact power that you can get from leveling up again. And that's pretty much it. Now there's of course a lot of new achievements, too many to name in this video as I said before. Now a link to that will be in the description of the entire patch notes as I mentioned at the beginning if you want to see those. Also new mounts and battle pets, as well as a new amount of regions required to make different things for your profession. It did seem like most of the regions were getting increased, making it a bit more difficult to make items. Also with the mounts, there's only 5 new mounts, so I'm going to go ahead and name them off. We have Midnight, which I've already said before drops from Ottoman and Karazhan. Ivory Hawkstrider, which requires you to be exalted with the Talon's Vengeance faction, which is a new faction 7.1. It also costs 100k. It's pretty much a less armored version of the Swift White Hawkstrider. Then the Darkwater Skate, which I've mentioned in a previous video. It's bought at the Darkmoon Fair with 500 Darkwater Dagger Maws. Then Nightbane, who you might remember was a summonable dragon boss in the raid Karazhan. Now there's no 100% on which boss he drops from, however he could possibly drop from Vizadum since he's the last boss, but the Shade of Medivh is also possible since Nightbane relates more with him in the lore, since Nightbane used to be a part of the Blue Dragon Flight but then was transformed by Medivh. And then the final mount is Arcanist's Mana Saber, which is pretty much a recolor of the Mystic Rune Saber mount from the Blizzard store. It's most likely acquired from the Nighthold Attunement quest or just more of the Nightfallen storyline. We aren't sure yet. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The entire patch notes, as I said already, will be in the description. Hope this video helped you. You can leave a like on it, you can sub to the channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.